Now it's time to break it.
Beautiful. 5 friends travel to a cabin in the woods where they unknowingly release flesh-possessing demons. On this week's episode of the Movie Movie Bookie Bookie Split Screener Podcast, we are talking about the one that was remade.
I was going to say,
not the one that was released in 1981, starring Bruce Campbell, Evil Dead. We are your hosts. That's Zach.
What's up, guys?
That's Gavin.
Hey.
That's Aaron.
Hey.
I'm Nick. Most of us have seen this movie.
Yes.
One of us have not. We're going to be discussing this, giving our ratings for Evil Dead, picking what movie we are going to be watching next week. For those of you that are just tuning in, this is our Movie Movie Bookie Bookie. This is our movie book club that we have started where every week we kind of go around, we pick a different movie. We are taking comment suggestions. Anybody that would like to comment and suggest a movie, we will gladly watch it, do our Movie Movie Bookie Bookie on that. But we're just trying to see some new things and show each other some of the movies that we've loved in our childhood. So this pick was Gavin's, so we'll get into this. Before we start, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Get updated on every episode that's coming out. We will not be releasing content next week, but stay tuned the week after that. We will be back to our normal release schedule. So, do we want to start with Gavin since he was the one that...
All right. So, I love this movie for the trilogy, but I always think it's really important if you are going to go through... Like, if you want to watch Army of Darkness, I think it's important to go through the first movies, really to get a base understanding, to get what all the main character has gone through. And I really think that Evil Dead is a very solid horror movie. I don't think it's a great movie, but I think it's a good horror movie. I think they managed the horror aspects pretty well. A little off the cuff with the tree scene.
Mm-hmm. I think that was the best scene.
He regrets it horribly. You know, Sam Raimi regrets that scene a lot. But I thought it was... I was like, I agree the scene's a little bit much, but I thought it was very, like, for a horror movie about how evil that the Necronomicon is and everything, I thought it's very fun. I didn't find the first one very funny. I just kind of enjoyed the kind of tense atmosphere that they set up in it.
Zach, since you were the one that hadn't seen it, what do you think?
So my cherry has been popped on this movie. No cherry blossom was heard in the making of this comment. So yeah, this was my first time seeing the movie itself. I've seen scenes on like YouTube and stuff, and heard people talk about the movie before, and references to the other movies and the character, mostly Ashley Williams,
Played by Bruce Campbell.
played by Bruce.
The Pizza Papa.
The Pizza Papa.
Papa Pizza. That's for those kids that might not know.
First off, I can now haven't seen Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and seen this movie. I can see the Sam Raimi influences on Doctor Strange, which is something I've been wanting to kind of dig into a little bit. I was glad that you kind of picked this movie for this week. See here. As a movie by itself, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I can see where it got its cult following. I do not hate it in any means. For me, I didn't like some of the camera work, especially at the beginning. Some of the sound effects and like the screaming lasts forever.
Yeah.
I think there was one where the lady just sat there and screamed or like moaned for a good minute and a half.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's rough. There's stuff like that that's rough to get through. The usual horror movie tropes are there, which are fine, like splitting up, not grabbing the gun when you should, or not holding the knife when you should. That's fine. That's the genre.
Right. I was like, and it's an older movie.
Yeah,
like,
it is an old movie.
31 years old.
It's fine. Things I liked. I do like
41.
41 years old. Jesus.
do like when they like get into kind of the mythos of the book and and kind of like are interacting with the dead and kind of like learning as they go.
Oh yeah.
I liked the practical effects. Just can't get past like the minute and a half long screaming. The rape scene was a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I was joking around that was my favorite scene. It's hard to watch.
It's very awkward to watch.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
There is definitely a different way to go about
getting that shock humor.
Yeah.
But I think part of it was he was aiming to make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and he
and it
did it
worked.
very well.
That last branch, where
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
damn, that did not feel good.
And it made. We're not talking about it, but it made it into the remake,
Yeah,
which is ridiculous because that came out in 2013. That's crazy to me.
controversial take.
Would not come out today.
No. Or if it did, they're just doubling down, I guess.
I'm gonna say this: I liked Cabin in the Woods better, which is based off of ideas from this movie. I can see that.
Yes.
100%.
I also may like the remake of this movie a little bit better. Haven't seen that first.
Yeah.
Have you seen? Have you seen the remake already?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw
we
the
saw it in
remake.
theaters.
Oh,
reviews.
that's what I thought. I thought we all saw it in theaters.
they-
I thought it was a little bit of a gore fest. We're not talking about the movie.
Yeah, I thought for what this is, Sam Raimi's one of his first director roles in a full movie. He did a lot of shorts before this.
Well, and a written role. He directed
Yeah.
and wrote this.
And for 1981, early horror, it does a lot well. So I think this movie is better than it really has a right to be.
Yeah.
For being low budget, novice director,
He had
but
It-
it's
it's-
horror roots.
It's great. It's just a cabin. It's
Yeah.
just like a
I mean,
two-bedroom
running around with a shaky cam.
Yeah.
Like there's, it's not a great movie.
No, but I think it did
And
a lot
it is
for the horror
important to
genre.
the
a
horror
lot.
genre.
Yeah.
This brought a lot to, and that's why it has a cult following.
It has a lot of tropes that.
Not my favorite of the Evil Dead franchise. For
No.
that, I really love Army of Darkness. More a
Yeah,
comedy than a horror.
100%.
But that's my favorite film
Yeah.
in this franchise.
Army
I
of
need to watch
Darkness-
2 because I really don't remember 2. I remember this one.
So I was like, I've recently rewatched all of them. I started with Army of Darkness because I hadn't seen it in a while and I really wanted to watch it, and I love it. I rewatched Evil Dead today, and I rewatched Evil Dead 2 like I think around the time I rewatched Army of Darkness like a week ago. Evil Dead 2, if it's
We'll get there.
somehow the best bridge.
Yeah.
I don't know how they managed it so well. Like
better than the bridge in this movie.
holds up.
Did not hold up.
There's screaming in the second one. Just to warn you, but it's,
I'm just gonna go in open mind.
He's cool with screaming, just not for a minute. and a
Not
half.
for a minute and a half.
so I think
I also hate when she starts laughing and she's just
That's
sitting
just
there.
the
last one?
Yeah, that also drives me nutters every time I watch this movie.
yeah, and I think that's part of the point. They're supposed to be maddening. And especially because you end up at the end of the movie with only Ashley Williams left.
Yeah.
He's
And
the
I do
only
not
survivor.
like Ash in this one. He is such a little pansy.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's the
For me,
thing. It's the
For me, getting into this franchise
Character
for the first
development.
time.
He's got an arc.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
gonna
he
be a
does.
badass by the third.
yeah. By the end of the second one, he's like, I'm fucking
Yeah.
gonna beat the
Oh,
shit out of
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, so like me being new to this franchise, having seen the chainsaw armor,
Yeah.
hearing the references, seeing the video game,
You're like,
that
this
just
is
came out,
a little
seeing-
different.
seeing stuff from Army of Darkness,
Yeah.
and then Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I
I
was
see a
like-
bookshelf pinning him down for 10
I was like,
minutes.
who the fuck is this pussy?
He gets shed in the second. So the second one, just a heads up for you, there's like the screaming, but it's different.
It's
It
fine.
takes place directly after the first.
I want to go and clean.
Oh, I know.
Yes,
that's the whole
I
premise.
remember nothing.
So like, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness, they take place. So Evil Dead 2 starts exactly where Evil Dead 1 left off,
Okay.
and Army of Darkness picks up exactly where Evil Dead 2 left off. So it's.
Okay.
We'll get there though. I'm excited to
I am
see
too.
2 just because I remember nothing of it, and then I'm excited
There-
for 3.
There's a
I
couple
love
scenes
movie.
that kill me in 2 every time. So funny.
Like Army of Darkness could make a list of mine. This one not so much, but I love it for what it is.
Yeah.
So, I think what Zach said is right in the fact that if you didn't watch this movie when you were younger, when it first came out,
Could I
I
say
can
it?
100% understanding liking the remake more. Because
I don't think so.
again,
Taking that.
Okay.
just like with some other things that we've
Goonies and
recommended,
stuff?
yeah, I think it's a lot of nostalgia.
Yeah.
I remember watching this movie when I was, 10 years old with my dad, and I still remember that when I rewatch it. So, what I do love about it, and you guys touched on a little bit, is because it is Sam Raimi's really big debut into being a director. I love watching things like. When you think about this movie and then you think about some of the movies he's directed later down the line, you see a lot of where things started for him.
Yeah.
I love some of the camera shots. I love the upside down camera shots or the top down or
He loves eyes.
the eye shots.
I really like, especially specifically the flying shots because it reminds me a lot of the Green Goblin from the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, you can see a lot of where he got his influence from.
And it's unique
And that
for the
style
time
carried
period.
over to the.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
It's
even-
very unique for the time period. It's
Even
not.
with Multiverse of Madness that just
Oh,
came
yeah.
out, you can see
Yeah.
still some of those Evil
The
Dead
evolution
aspects.
of his style.
Yeah. Which I absolutely loved. I love that with every director. I think this one's obviously easy because it's so relevant because we did just see Doctor Strange and now we're seeing Evil Dead. And you can definitely make some connections there. Obviously, love Bruce Campbell. And you guys touched on that. In this movie, he does kind of suck. I had
shelves.
I had
the
forgotten.
disconnect
Not
between
once.
the two.
Well, and then the funniest part to me is he goes down into the basement early in the movie, and he goes down there calm and cool and collected. So you think, oh, this dude's kind of a badass. I wouldn't bring myself to go down in a creepy basement, even if one of you guys were lost down there.
Oh,
Not by
nice.
myself. Fuck that.
Nice.
And he just does it all cool and.
I mean, it's realistic. We'd probably freeze in moments like this, but everything I've seen before this, I'm like, yeah, Ash is a badass.
It's crazy because he is not a badass in this movie.
No.
It's his origin
Not
story.
even a little.
But this is the movie that sparked comic books and games
Yeah.
and TV shows and so much.
Parodies and
So much.
A whole universe.
Yeah, I don't.
It's crazy and
This is definitely my second. If I remember correctly, this is my second favorite out of the trilogy. I remember not liking Evil Dead 2 as much, but I could be wrong when we
Yeah,
rewatched
I
it.
really
It has
need
been
to
so
watch
long.
it because I remember nothing from it.
honestly, what you're probably remembering Evil Dead 2, but you're mixing it with Evil Dead 1 and probably some parts of the beginning of Army of Darkness.
Yeah, because I know
Because
Army
that's
of
where
Darkness
I end
has
up with a
little bit
lot
of
is
recap.
I remember which movie did he chop off his hand in?
Army of Darkness.
Evil Dead
Oh,
2.
Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, because he's got it in Army of Darkness.
Yes. He starts Army of
Starts
Darkness.
off without a hand, then he gets his chainsaw.
But
He's-
yeah,
he has his chainsaw before Army of Darkness.
Oh, does he?
He
Thought he put it on him.
no, it's
See, I don't
yeah.
remember.
See, that's where
I
you're.
think it's what he kills the hand with, isn't it?
No, he shoots it
Oh, okay.
in Army of Dark, not Army of Dark, in Evil,
Evil
Dead
Dead
2.
2.
It,
I don't know. I need to rewatch it.
Yeah,
Because-
which we definitely will get to. Like I said, we go round and round, so I think Gavin's next pick will be Evil Dead
yeah,
2.
I'm gonna
And
take
then we'll
everyone
watch-
through the trilogy.
Yeah.
It's a favorite trilogy of mine.
That's what I've been thinking about doing with John Wick, but I don't know if I don't want to do John Wick just yet.
Yeah, overall, I mean, as far as our list goes, I think this is the 16th movie that we watched with this movie book club. It falls somewhere in that middle half of movies for me. It's definitely not the worst thing that we've watched so far.
No.
It's definitely nowhere close to the best thing that we watched. So
No.
it's somewhere in that bottom half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For what it is, it's an important
and
film.
especially when you look back at 81 and you go,
Yeah.
for 81, this is
It's a milestone.
It's cool.
81 and your first movie you ever directed.
and it did not have a huge budget.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
You don't need a huge budget
And for the
it.
practical effects, it was pretty impressive.
I was like,
actually.
you can tell, especially particularly with the tree scene. The tree does look like a lot of it was pretty handmade with pool noodles.
Yeah.
But you know what? And they probably busted their ass to make those props.
Oh, they did.
You know, there was one scene where I was really worried for Ash. It was after the second shelf had fallen on him, and he was going into another room, and you saw another shelf in there, in another bedroom, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no.
Here we go. Third time.
Third time's the charm.
Especially that second shelf, which was just
Yeah,
a
like-
board and
like-
half a shelf. And he's like, ugh, ugh.
And it looks like
IKEA furniture.
their budget was $375,000, which isn't
They
bad.
did a great job with it.
It isn't horrible, but it's also not awesome when it comes to Hollywood movies.
And it was a tough movie to make. I was reading up on it. They the whole crew were living in that house while filming. Freezing temperatures, no working plumbing. They're at each other's throats. By the end of production, they're burning furniture in the house to stay warm. They were getting sick all the time. So the movie was hell for them to go through to make.
I heard that to get the movie made, Raimi was going around the studios and trying to sell it, but no one was taking it. And then somebody, I can't remember exactly who it was, but somebody who believed in him, endorsed him, and got the movie made. And then his second film was a box office flop.
Yeah.
And then he went back to Evil Dead 2 because now Evil Dead was a cult classic. A lot of people liked it.
Yep.
So he went and made the second sequel, and that's how he started getting going.
Honestly, I don't know how the fuck he came up with Army of Darkness.
I'm glad he did. I
am too.
He's got the horror, then obviously some comedy, but
that
film's great. But it is not.
I like Sam Raimi horror films too.
Yeah.
I think
that was my favorite parts about Doctor Strange was his horror influences.
He's good. It's just. I'm glad you were able to experience it. I didn't expect you to be like, "Wow, this movie's great."
It wasn't in Bruges.
No, that movie was good.
Great. I'm mad that I didn't see that.
I'm expecting you to say this movie's great when we get to Army of Darkness. Because Army of Darkness is so fucking fun. It's just
I'm interested to see if you'll like that one with seeing it for the first time.
I think part of this, and it goes into Doctor Strange as well, is the build-up to this movie.
Yeah, I think that might have been. It's been you haven't seen it, so it's been everyone's been talking about.
This is gonna be something going forward with movies that I haven't seen before. I'm gonna try to be more careful about the build-up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried not to oversell it. I was just like,
I'm still gonna say it, and I said this in a previous episode that probably released this week. I'm gonna build up anything everywhere all at once. The max. Like, you need to watch it.
Then we'll be severely let down.
If you're let down, I'm gonna be sad. This movie might not be for everyone, but
or it might be.
It should be for everyone, everywhere.
Or we'll never watch it until he forces us to with a movie Bookie Bookie.
Well, as we established in the rules earlier, can't release in the same year.
Last 30 days.
Well, that's right. We went down to 30 days.
Yeah, because
and I believe this came out over 30 days ago.
Wasn't because you wanted us to watch *Malignant*, and we went down to 30 days.
No,
this all happened when you were gone today.
Oh,
we started.
It came out last year, I think, or the year before.
Yeah.
Because we started like, can it come out this
I like *Malignant*. 5
years, and then we were like, oh, we watched *Malignant*. So like, all right, 2 years, 3 years, or 2 years, and then a year, and then.
Well, Zach, how would you rate Evil Dead? 1 to 10.
It is a groundbreaking film that has influenced countless films beyond it.
That's the hard part.
That
is weighing
weighing it as a standalone film just on its own versus a cult classic and groundbreaking film.
I was like, I think for us we should rate it for how the movie stands as is. I might shoot us in the foot for later for trilogies and stuff, but
how would you rate it?
How would I rate it?
Yep.
It's a solid 6. 5? No, 5. It's a 5 out of 10. It's straight middle ground for me. It's not great. It's not bad. You probably expected me to have a lot higher rating, honestly.
Honestly, I was expecting you to have a higher one than me.
And Zach's a little higher. What would you place it at, Zach?
I was going to give it a 6.
Yeah, I was as well.
That's weird because I was as well. 5 is kind of that middle road, like on my ranking, and I think that's what kind of makes our rankings difficult is because I think we all rank differently. 5 is that middle road where like if it's on TV and I catch part of it, I'll watch it.
Yeah, 5 for me is just middle of the road. It's mediocre. It's not good. It's not so bad I'd never watch it, but it's mediocre. This is a little above mediocre.
Anything above that, I would rewatch and not be upset about.
Exactly.
And that's where
like today. I watched it again, not upset.
Yeah.
5s I don't generally go back and watch.
For me, 5 is just average. I'll still watch it. That's TV. Like if I want to watch the trilogy, because I do like watching the trilogy. especially with this one.
Yep.
I will say I'm really excited to finish this trilogy.
Yeah.
I wish it wouldn't take so damn long to get around to it yet because it's going to be months before we finish the trilogy.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Well, yeah, it'll be fine though. It'll be
Maybe
fine
I'll
once we get
cheat
there.
and just watch this in the meantime because I really want to see Evil Dead 2 just to see what I've forgotten.
It's a lot of fun. Like I said, I watched it recently myself.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since I was probably 12.
And honestly, a lot of my issue was I was mixing up scenes from Evil Dead 2 into both Evil Dead and Army of
I'm
Darkness.
sure I'm doing the same.
And that was a lot of like, I'm like, I swore that happened in Army of Darkness. It's happening now. I'm like, I swore that happened in Evil Dead. What the hell?
But it's good. I'm glad we watched that.
There are so many like goofs and trivia things. They
filmed this over several years because they had to keep taking breaks. So, like one scene, they're like covered in gore, and then they start filming again 2 years later and run in different clothes. Yeah. So there's a lot of goofs like that.
You can definitely see their mental state, how hell it was though.
Yeah.
You can see it's kind of like The Shining when you could really see.
Yeah. It was a rough
her
production.
mental state's like actually like
freezing to death, getting sick. You're in a house with no plumbing out in the middle of nowhere where it's cold and yes.
Yeah, I like to read off a couple of those that I find on IMDb. For those of you watching, just go on IMDb, go to the Evil Dead page, and then scroll to the bottom. You can see like goofs and continuator. There's so many, and a lot of them are crazy and I enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah,
because they have those.
And yeah, I think part of that might still be the cultural impact that it's had on the
and
horror movie community.
Wow, interesting.
What?
I was just looking at IMDb's rating. So this film got a 7.4, as did Army of Darkness, and Evil Dead 2 is the highest rated at 7.7.
Really?
Yeah, I'm surprised. And the remake is the lowest rated at 6.5.
You were gonna. I think the second one, because it's.
As a horror movie, it's a straight up horror movie still.
It's
am I
goofy.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of the special effects at the time, the practical effects.
God, yeah, I need to see
I don't know if like that's what made it seem so goofy. There's just one scene with a bunch of laughing that literally, the very first time I watched it, it's like 2 a.m. I'm watching Evil Dead 1 first, and it actually scared me because I'm a little baby when it comes to horror movies. Watching it by myself, Evil Dead 2 comes on, I put that on next, and I am just dying.
Yeah.
It kills me. Like, it has like this jump scares, but it is funny as hell and is not intended to be. You can tell that they did not intend it to be funny.
Gotcha.
They intended it to be goofy. I mean, not goofy, like serious.
Yeah.
And
Well, we'll see.
But
I do look forward to
But then
watching
seeing Army of Darkness, you can see like why they make those decisions and why it flows beautifully. And I think that's I haven't really watched very many trilogies or movies that pick up directly after the last one ended.
Yeah,
and
literally
just
back to back.
Like, and after all three does, it's back to back to back.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I think it's unique about the whole storytelling about it. You don't get any exposition. Like, you just get you don't get any exposition like, yeah, this is what I was over the past 2 years. It's just immediate. You get to find out what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
And everything else.
It's good. It was a good pick, and I believe you are our next chooser.
Yep.
So.
I think I might be on vacation once you guys watch this, so I'll probably just send you a video of my take on it. You can insert it into the episode.
That'll be fine.
See, I got 3 in mind. 1, 2,
Oh man. Nervous.
3. Hey Siri,
What if she says 1 again?
pick a number between 1 and 3.
No.
1.
Fuck.
Skip and Zach. All
So
right.
my movie will be Train to Busan. I have not seen this movie yet, so I will.
You'll have to send us your
Definitely.
reaction.
And your rating.
And my rating. So Train to Busan is I think it's a Korean-made
It
movie.
is Korean.
It does have a sequel. It's Peninsula.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Is it just Peninsula?
Yeah, I think the
Okay.
sequel's just called Peninsula. It has a subtitle or something or
Yeah.
pre-title.
Yeah, we will be watching this subtitled.
So the synopsis is life or death, survival begins.
There might be a bad dub, but
Martial law is declared when a mysterious viral outbreak pushes Korea into a state of emergency. Those on an express train to Busan, a city that has successfully fended off the viral outbreak, must fight for their own survival. So, sounds pretty intense.
It
Zombie
sounds
movie.
cool. You know what's really funny? Kind of what?
Have you seen it?
No.
so it's
No, I haven't seen
2016,
it.
The thing that
and I know this is highly rated.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, so it's a new one for all four.
7.6
Oh, that's always
on
nice.
IMDb. I've been wanting to watch this one for a while.
I've heard of it and I've wanted to see it as well.
Yeah, when this came out, a lot of people were raving about how good it is.
Yes. That's why I went off and bought it on Vudu off of a blind pick. So when you guys do watch, you can use my Vudu account.
I have it on mine, but I haven't had a chance to do it. So I just need to make sure I have subtitles.
And if it's good, maybe I'll just pick the sequel of my next turn.
You know what's kind of funny? I don't know why I'm the one that does this because I'm not very organized, but I've been kind of watching you guys with the recommendations. You guys just kind of pick up in the moment. Mine's, I know what I'm doing after we do our evil.
He's got his
Dead
next
one.
12 picked.
And part of the reason for that is because I want you guys to, like, there's a couple movies that I haven't seen that sound abysmally funny.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to, like, space stuff out so I'm not just, like, because, like, Velocipaster and, like, those ones, they're fun, but even though it's every, like, 3 weeks, you know, someone will fucking watch. That's always my choice. I don't want to just,
Yeah.
like, especially if one flops really hard, I don't want to be like, all right, and now we go into the next flop. Instead of being like, let's have a palate cleanser real quick.
For me, it's more like I pay attention to like a few things. Like, for one, I want it to be one of my picks to be like relevant to what's going on currently.
And there are trains happening right now.
This one probably isn't that. Second, sometimes I want to watch a movie that none of us have seen, so it's fresh for all of us. Which,
This is going to be a first where all 4 of us have not seen
yeah.
it.
Yeah, because I saw Velocipaster.
Yeah.
And then my third one is usually, sometimes I want to get you guys ready for a sequel that's potentially coming out. So I might have you guys watch the Godzilla films for some of mine.
Look,
Can we watch the Toho ones?
Oh, I might throw. I actually on my potential list. I have the Shin Godzilla film, which I also do own.
My lists are kind of just random. Like,
Same. I'm like, oh, I like this film. Or
usually I
have
just like
something
look through Aaron's Plex or something, and I'll find one. I'll be like, oh, that'll be a good one for next week.
I was like, yeah.
Which next week will be my week. Oh, not next week. Like I said at the beginning, we won't be here next week. The week after that, after we watch Train to Busan, it will be my pick again. So.
And then it'll be Aaron's, and then it'll be a commenter's recommendation
If
there is one. If not, it'll be me. Because I
work Friday.
It just makes me laugh.
This Friday.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I do.
I don't.
Oh, he has to work a half day. His boss said he could bail early.
No, for one, I'm going to Arizona. I'm working a half day.
Oh, yeah, I thought you said for
I was
this
like, well, if we have a
might
few
be
hours
over
to
that.
kill before we head up, we can watch it and do a quick
Yeah,
movie,
that's
movie,
true.
bookie when he's in town.
Well, if I'm off at like 5, we could just.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Like I said, we could record up and see.
Yeah.
I mean, we could watch it Thursday night and then.
And just have lots of guest stars.
Yeah. I mean, just 2.
Yeah.
It's just the 4 of us and 2 other people that'll be up there, so.
Oh, is no one else?
Yeah. The 4 of us and Brooks and Nathan, so.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
No, I'm totally cool with that. I just
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down
for
with
some
that.
reason more
So,
people
yeah,
there.
so we might have a couple things
We'll
come
figure it
out.
out.
We won't have our regular schedule next
No.
week. I know that. We won't be doing a movie episode or a video game episode or a sports episode.
You might get some video game
Something
content
groundbreaking. It's announced.
from me. I've been. It's probably gonna be a salt and sacrifice video. I'm still working on the Pegaloo one. I haven't gotten a winning fucking run since I said I was making those videos, and I'm gonna have to put out a video that's just like multiple videos that are just 25 minutes of me losing.
Are all of our D&D episodes out?
No, yeah, I have one in reserve still.
Okay, so
I need to get that last one out, and I'm thinking about maybe we do like
we won't record next week. Zach will be gone the next 2 weekends after that.
yeah.
So we won't be able to record D&D for at least 3 weeks from now.
That's what I figured. I'm thinking I'll figure something out for that. I'm also thinking
D&D
about
will be back soon.
I'm also thinking about
With better
doing
audio.
doing a smaller.
I just imagine myself on a beach in Cancun, voice calling you guys and trying to be in the session.
You weren't supposed to tell people where you were going.
Oh yeah.
Now a
Whatever.
crazy stalker's gonna find
Now they're
you.
gonna have to watch both
One of
videos
our
to get the
20
answers though.
followers.
True. That was Aaron's surprise ending at the end of the video.
Oh,
Zach
yeah.
saying where he was going to go.
I thought
Oh,
that was
yeah.
a different episode.
That was. He had to watch 2 episodes. to
That's
find
3
that.
episodes now. I just imagine myself on a
Follow,
beach trying to soberly do my character while just down and crying.
I'm actually thinking about doing something just so we can get more D&D content up, because I think that would be really helpful for
We did
our
a couple
channel.
of like one-shots or something.
I was thinking about starting up the Dungeons and Dragons of Knowledge and just have that be like a quick 15-minute little. Which, if you have ever watched our old Entertain Me podcast,
Listened. That was an audio medium. We didn't record this. Video-less.
if you watch the audio waves, like on SoundCloud,
If you listen to your eyeballs,
you'll
It's
know
there.
that was my arena style trivia / D&D fighting thing. You answered questions, you got reward points. Aaron wasn't there.
I was Arya.
Yeah, you got reward points, and then you could use your reward
I
points
think
for
so.
different
Bonuses are
bonuses. You spend them to level up. You could bank them for the next week, and just stuff like that.
Noish.
But I think that might work since D&D apparently is a bitch to get all 4 of us together for 4 hours
the story
extra.
of DVD.
That's the story of recording podcast. Hey, we are 1 subscriber away from 20. 1 subscriber away from 20. We hit 20 subscribers. We were going to give away something.
We'll figure it out.
Maybe it might just be a Funko Pop. We're going to give away Zach's Power Rangers
Oh,
Funko
fuck
Pop.
off. That's a good idea.
That's not happening.
Once we hit 20,
I
like,
will
comment, and
stab
subscribe. Anybody that comments automatically gets a
That's
raffle.
not a threat, that's a promise.
And you might see a death on the next episode.
And you know what? If it happens while he's out of town,
Alibi.
then he can't stop
Head
us.
the shit on your bed.
Somebody came in and stole something, Zach, but it was just your Funko Pop. That's the weirdest
Hey.
thing. But yeah, no, for real. We are 1 subscriber away from 20. We do want to do giveaways, so once we hit 20 subscribers, we'll do a random giveaway to somebody. Even if I have to go find a cool Funko Pop and send it to somebody, I'll do that. So, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this with your friends and family, man.
Yeah.
Let them know how cool we are.
And share it with your enemies.
Yeah, especially share it with your enemies. That's big.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back eventually. It is time to split.